Okay, so I just tried recording this. I got the entire way through, and then I realized my mic wasn't enabled in OBS. So we're gonna try this again, and I'm gonna hope it works. That's depressing. So today we're using very generic build run Strand Warlock. There's gonna be a Strand Warlock video, by the way. I think it's very good. I'm not too worried about the match, that's just B-roll. Today we're gonna be talking about renegades. The renegades gear that they showed off yesterday. In case you haven't seen. It's basically just Star Wars gear. It's like literally just copy-paste rips of Star Wars stuff. So I'm going to talk about it because, do you know, I like Star Wars, admittedly. No shame if you like this stuff. But to me, this all seems like boring, uninspired slop. That is most of my shots, I would have loved that otherwise. This seems like just genuine, uninspired, boring slop made to appease. Made to appease the, like, bunch of people who play this game who are like Star Wars, which is seemingly quite a lot of the audience because people are eating this shit up. Like, the main thing's the weapons. The exotics and like the armor are all unique, and they're very obviously inspired by I had a stroke. They are very obviously inspired by Star Wars, right? Connection. But the weapons just aren't. The weapons are like actual, like, model rips from Fortnite, they may as well be, right? They've got the Mandalorian sniper rifle, which, although I've never watched Mandalorian, I can assume it's probably... it probably is, just based off of the fact that it's the same thing in Fortnite. So they've got that. They've got what I can assume is either Han Solo's pistol, which I have some words about that one, balancing wise, or it's meant to be someone else's pistol. It looks like Han Solo's pistol to me, so I'm gonna keep calling it that. They've got Leia's pistol, I think it is. I don't remember exactly which character uses it, but it's the 120 I'm on about, not the sidearm with the scope on his top. Then we've got, I don't remember what the pulse rifle is, but I do remember the SMG is meant to be a Old Republic, or a New Republic SMG, like, rifle thing. And they look pretty much almost exactly alike, and it's very obviously not Destiny, it's very obviously just Star Wars, which to me seems like such a huge cop-out because they said this was a Star Wars inspired Destiny DLC, and it is not. It is really not so far, so curious to see how that's gonna work. Then we have the exotics, the actual exotics themselves. You know, lightsabers are cool, I can't really complain, but it seems like it's going to be the dungeon exotic, and it's going to be really overpowered because it's a kinetic sword, which might likely means it's like, what's it called, Ergo Sum, where it's a special ammo sword. So I have a feeling it's going to be really broken and annoying and stupid, so I'm not going to enjoy it very much. The explosive crossbow, on the other hand, it's again just the copy and paste model of Chewbacca's crossbow, but it's an explosive crossbow. I like explosions, I like crossbows, whatever. Then we have the exotics, the exotic armor, specifically. Starting off with the Warlock one. I think the Warlock one is probably the best of the three. People are complaining about it because it's another generic Rift Warlock. It's another generic Warlock Rift exotic. Ooh. And all this and that, right? But I think it's going to be the best one. You spend enemies when you rift near them. Suspend deals damage over time, and you get like a stasis breakout, like suspend damage burst whenever the suspend debuff runs out. Suspending damage heals you. You have like lifesteal from suspended targets. And defeating suspended targets essentially looks like Devour, right? So I think when you combine it with Mind Spun Invocation, Weaver's Trance, with Shackle Grenade, it's gonna be like crazy. So I would definitely recommend using it, even if you don't like the idea of it, but you like Stone Warlock. I think in PvP it's gonna be broken, just because the devs seem to think Suspend is worse than Freeze. I'm assuming just because you can shotgun back, but at the very least on keyboard and mouse, I don't think I've ever been suspended on controller. You just don't have enough fire accuracy. The like POV moving to third person instead of first person for some reason, and the crosshair moving is super jarring. I can like never shoot back for a good half a second whenever I get suspended, and that's enough to just kill you. Like, the enemy wins at that point. So yeah, I imagine it's going to last longer than Freeze Rift as well, and I personally feel Freeze Rift is like actually balanced, because Freeze Rift lets you do a single action. This is just gonna be like free kills for rifting near people. Because it's like the Freeze Rift, you get one action. So you have up to 50-50 people. You can either waste your melee, which means you've lost 2 abilities to get a 1 freeze kill. And because it's a rift, you have to be tactical, because you have 1 action after casting it. This is probably just going to be you cast your rift and they get suspended for like 5 seconds and you kind of win. Like, I don't think you'd be able to recreate the clip in the trailer with normal Freeze Rift, so that's gonna go well. The Titan exotic, I originally thought it was gonna be like genuinely atrocious, but it looks like it's gonna be fine. Essentially it's like a Thunder Crash jetpack sort of deal. That's the easiest way to describe it. And basically you have to get a bunch of arc, specifically powered melee kills, to charge up the meter, which is called jetpack fuel. You're able to use your jetpack, it makes an arc shockwave, and then you can like doesn't you Thunder Crash or like shoulder charge into an enemy. I feel like it's honestly balanced, just based on the fact that it has a meat tied to it. Hazardous Propulsion I had the same worry about, but they tied meat to that. It resets on death. I assume this one's gonna reset on death. And yeah. I have a feeling it's not gonna be anywhere near as bad as it originally seemed like it could be. We're just gonna be like, oh, Titans have a free kill, a free desync kill. That's gonna be so awesome to fight, but I don't think it's gonna be so bad. Then it's probably gonna be like one guy who runs it with like the glaive, and he finds out a way to make glaives count as arc powered melee kills or something like that, but that's about it. I guess the only way I could see it being a problem is if knockouts counts as an arc-powered melee kill still, but we'll see. They'll probably patch that out anyway, so I'm not worried about that one. The one I am worried about, though, is the Hunter one, which is the most boring of the bunch. Don't know why I jumped them. Essentially, after landing a final blow while at full health, or not being in combat for a short time, you gain a overshield for... You get an overshield for essentially existing as that perk. You also, whilst you have any overshield, have increased accuracy, which essentially means increased aim assist, stability, handling, and damage against combatants, just for existing. And you also gain mobility whenever your overshield is depleted. So I imagine this is going to be busted as shit. It really will be, I feel. The only way I could see it being balanced is if it takes like 10 seconds for the overshield to actually come back, but I'm pretty sure it won't. So I can always guarantee it won't. If it takes anything shorter than 10 seconds, it's probably just gonna end up being people waiting in the back of the map. For literally no reason. So everyone's gonna be forced to use 120 hand cannons, or like more scouts, more pulse rifles, or underover weapons to even think about playing the game, because everyone is going to run it. It's gonna make things really lame, and PvP is going to die. I genuinely think the game mode dies if this becomes the popular playstyle, because it would just be people not playing the video game. I really hope they've either forced it through and it's some ridiculous amount of time for it to start coming back, or they just outright rework it because quite people aren't happy with it anyway, so they might just... I'd honestly be fine if they just don't release the Hunter exotic and they just make this one cooler for PvE players, and then not genuinely like insane for PvP players. Because personally, I don't see how this ends up past balance. I don't see how it ends up past concept, if I'm gonna be honest. But here we are discussing it. It's a real exotic that's going to be in Renegades. But oh well, it's a PvE game. What can I do? Surely. Thank you. So, yeah, I think to summarize, I think the exotics are gonna be good. They're gonna be fun. I don't like how all of the weapons are just Star Wars stuff about. It's like copy and paste rip models from Star Wars. I just think that's so boring and uninspired. Especially when Bungie have proven they can make collab weapons, because they made the 30th anniversary weapons. I'll show it off in a second when I... Done. I'll show it off in a second now, but like this is obviously meant to be a battle rifle. You can see it looks like a battle rifle. It is a Destiny gun. Like, clear as day a Destiny gun. So they've like proven they can make collab weapons. They know they can make collab weapons and like crossover guns. They did the same thing for Forerunner as well. It's very obviously a Destiny weapon, but it looks like the Halo CE Magnum. That's cool, and it looks like a Destiny gun. To me, it looks like Breachlight of it, personally, but no, we've just got generic Fortnite Star Wars blaster. That makes me a bit upset, personally. So yeah. If you enjoyed my rants, subscribe. No shame to you if you enjoy the Star Wars stuff. I'm sure it's cool to someone who cares that much about the franchise. Personally, I don't. I like Star Wars, but I'm not sold on it literally just being copy and paste shit into D tier and further degrading the art style. That's just my personal take. Like, comment, sub, and bad use.